Welcome to the TechHub.training SQL Union with Precision Challenge Solution. I'm going to pull up our Access database and start with our first question. As you can see, I have the employee table pulled up because our first query is our boss wants to send everyone a Christmas card. So we're going to create a list of first name, last name, and email of all the vendors and employees at PPP. So we have the employee table and the vendor table, just so you can see. And to create a query, we're going to go to Create, Query Design, and we're going to hit that SQL view. We're going to write this query together. So we're first going to start with the employee table. We're going to select the first name, last name, and employee, that's going to be lowercase, employee email. And we just want this to show up as email because that's how it looks on the vendor table. So we're just going to do as email. We're going to go from the employee table. All right, and then we're going to union our next one. So I'm going to do a union, and then I do my next query just right on top of each other. I'm going to select the first name, last name, and email. And this one's just email, so we don't need to use the as, from vendor. Then we should run that. There we go, and there's our list for Christmas cards. All right, let's move on to our next query. We need to create query design. And our next query is for the purchasing department. They're thinking about selling a few new items. And so we're going to just union the new inventory table onto inventory. So we just want to double check and look and see the inventory and new inventory all have the same number and columns as each other. And so then we're just going to go in, make sure we hit SQL view. And we're going to do select star because we want to include all the columns from inventory. Then I'm going to union and select star from new inventory. And then create design, we're going to run that. There we go. Just both of our inventory tables together. You can make sure they're down there at the bottom, which they are. And then our last query, we're going to create query design SQL view. Our last query is asking for us to make a list of employees for the employee raffle. And so every employee gets one entry, and then each employee who created or reviewed at least one order gets an extra entry on top of that. So let's start with the extra entries because it'll be a little bit more complicated. And we're going to get those from the order table. So we're going to select, and this one we're going to select distinct because we only want each employee once that reviewed it. So I'm going to do emp reviewer ID as employee ID. So we just want it to be the employee ID, so I'm just renaming that column, and then I'm going from orders. And that's my first one. I actually need to union, and this one's a little bit different. I'm doing a union all. Because a normal union will get rid of duplicates, but in this case we want the duplicates because we want every employee to have at least one entry, and then they get an additional entry if they reviewed or created an order. So then our next one, we're going to do select employee ID from employee. Just get all of our employees, and then again we're going to union all and get our last table, which is going to be a select distinct again. Select distinct emp order creation ID, and then we'll do as employee ID from orders. And then we're going to run that. And there we go. That's going to be the list for our raffle. And really the main thing that you need to make sure when you're doing a union is that you have the same number of items in your select statement. So this one only has one. And then like we checked with the vendor one, we made sure that they had the same number of columns. Thank you so much for doing this challenge. This is part of the SQL learning path, so I hope you can continue learning. And have a great day.